Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is I, Jolting Joe, coming to you from my back porch on Tuesday, June 27th at 12:58 p.m. Central Standard Time. At 12:59 Central Standard Time. What are you drinking? What are you smoking? And I have one of my favorite cigars. It's my favorite wrapper. It's a Cameroon wrapper. Cameroons are my absolute favorite. This is a Rocky Patel Vintage 2003. There you go. I mean, like I said, this is one of my favorite cigars because Cameroons is one of my favorite rappers. Probably, it will actually is my favorite rapper. And the Rocky's just a really good smoke. What are you drinking? And pull into the cooler here. This is from our local Texas brewery, which is Shiner. All right, they make Shiner Bock. It's kind of like the Yingling of Texas. All right, but this is Twin Dream Double IPA. All right, coming off their Tex-Mex series. This is a double IPA brewed with cactus water. Check out that ABV, baby. Yeah, and it's a 1 pint can. So, oh, here we go. There you go. Alright. And I fucked up and brought my Pumpkinator glass, but it's not exactly fall, but you know, hey, whatever. Guess we're, halfway to Halloween or whatever. Actually, we're more than halfway, but whatever. It's cool. Alright. There you go. Good little head there. I'll let that sit. Gonna put this back in the cooler. It's fucking hot, dude. So currently, I think it's supposed to be a high of 102 today. I don't know what the fucking heat index is. Hey, you know what? Let's just look it up. I know this is a sports show. Let's look up the weather. I'll tell you what it is right now. Let's see here. Is it just 96? That's it? Okay. They said it's supposed to get a little bit higher than that. Okay. Well, I guess where I'm at, it is currently 96. The feels like though is 109. So that's what that is what it feels like right now. Yeah, there you go. It's 96 and feels like 109. Good times. Good fucking times, I tell you what. So, anyway, all right. Cheers, everybody. See how this is. First time I've had this one. Mm. A little bit hoppier than a standard double IPA, or maybe not as sweet as a Imperial IPA, as a double IPA. Mm. Not bad, though. Pretty good. Especially if you like IPAs. All right. All right. Oh, man. Oh, I had the Angels won last night on a wild pitch. That's fucking horseshit. Anyway, just saw that. All right. Let's go to the ESPN. Let's see. Top plays. Ooh, Fournette. Leonard Fournette got into a crash. This SUV caught fire, but got out of it. Well, that's a good thing that he got out of it. Okay. I'll tell you what. Let's start with the NBA draft, I guess. Really, I mean, there was. I don't know if there was any big surprises here. Obviously, Victor Wembanyama went number 1 overall to the San Antonio Spurs. That was a no-doubter. His odds were high. I think there was some guy bet like 50 grand and won like $300. I mean, it was a no-doubter, but you had to bet so much money to win so little money. It wasn't even worth it. Like you could have, I think if you would have bet $1 million, you would have won like 3,000. I mean, it was crazy. But yeah, he went number 1 overall. Brandon Miller of Alabama went number 2 overall to the. Who the hell is that? Was that the? I can't even see that logo, and I don't even remember who the fuck had the second pick. Was it the Hornets? Yeah, it was Charlotte Hornets. Yeah, the second pick. And then Scoot Henderson, he went number 3 overall to the Portland Trailblazers. And then the Rockets with the number 4 pick, took Amin Thompson, number 4, out of the Overtime Elite League for their point guard. And then really, I mean, it kind of, man, we're not going to go over too much of this stuff. But then Cam Whitmore, the Rockets also had the 20th pick. They were thinking about moving up and trying to get Cam Whitmore. But Cam Whitmore, who was supposed to be a top 10, top 12 pick, kept sliding, actually fell into the laps of the Houston Rockets at number 20. So they get Cam Whitmore from Nova at the number 20 pick. And so they were introduced yesterday, but really, like I said, it was basically a 4-person draft. It was Victor and then Scoot. And then Scoot, Brendan Miller, and Amin Thompson. That was basically it, and that's kind of how the draft went. So nothing big, shocking there as far as the NBA draft is concerned. The big thing were the trades that were made. Let me see if I can find all of, because we had the Chris Paul trade, which I failed to mention because I didn't realize that the Phoenix was actually trading. Let's see, those draft nights trades, because there was the big one. Let's see, hold on a second. Let me get down here. Let me scroll. There we go. Was that it? Yes, okay. All right, so the one I did not mention, which happened on June the 18th. So the Wizards sent Bradley Beal to Phoenix. In exchange for Bradley Beal, they also sent Chris Paul and Landry Shamet with multiple second-round picks and multiple pick swaps to Phoenix. And once again, Phoenix got Bradley Beal, Jordan Goodwin, and Isaiah Todd. But Chris Paul, again, on the move. And I like Chris Paul. Chris Paul's a good player. But man, after, he started with New Orleans, and then he went to the Clippers, and then he went to the Rockets, and then after that, that's when he really started bouncing. And then he went to OKC, and then he went to Phoenix, and then he got bounced to Washington, where he didn't stay very long, which we'll get to here in a second. Let's see, and I'm trying to think if there was anything else that was big. Oh yeah, the Celtics traded for Porzingis. So the Celtics get Porzingis, and then they sent the Wizards Tyrese Jones and Danilo Gallinari. So the Wizards were kind of busy, and then the Grizzlies got Marcus Smart. That was kind of a big trade. Let's see, and then June 20, just like a day later after day after the other trade, the Wizards sent Chris Paul to Golden State. So he wasn't a Wizard for very long. He was a Wizard for a day. and then they sent him to Golden State, and in exchange for Jordan Poole and a 2030 first round pick and a 2027 second round pick. As they by the NBA, man, they fucking trade draft picks like nobody's business. So that was a big one. And then let me see if there was anything else in the meantime that was kind of a big one. But really, free agency is kind of where it's at, and kind of the trade moves and stuff, what's going to happen. Not seeing any kind of like big recognizable names here. I think those were the big ones. I think the big ones. The Bradley trade for getting Chris Paul and then sending Chris Paul to Golden State. That was kind of the big thing. So basically with the NBA right now, the biggest free agent out there, of course, is James Harden. There's been talk that he might come back to Houston. I know there's a lot of, there's really no in-between ground with James Harden. You either love him or you hate him. If you love James Harden, you want to come back to Houston. If you hate James Harden, you don't want him anywhere near Houston. Probably going to end up going back to Philly. But he's still the biggest free agent out there right now. So we'll see what everything happens to with the Rockets. And the Rockets have now said officially, do Houston stuff here because I'm in Houston. But the Houston has said that they are officially into phase 2 of the rebuild. So I mean, they've got their coach, and and why did I blank on his name? Okadima. Shit. Anyway, the guy used to coach Boston. What the fuck I blank on his name for? Um, but Imde, right? Yeah. Anyway, they Obi-Wan. But anyway, they got their coach. They had two top. They had Jabari Smith. They had Jalen Green. Now they've got Amen Thompson and Cam Williams. So you've got four really young players. And then I think they're going to do some free agent stuff and also maybe do some trades. Good trade for Kevin Porter Jr. Things like that. So we'll see what it is. But I know Tim Fertitta, the owner of the Rockets, tired of losing. Rocket fans are tired of losing, and so um, hopefully they should be competing at least, going into phase 2, hopefully competing for a play-in spot. I mean, they had two really bad years. 20, because I mean you really can't count the COVID year because James left. Well, no, I say that was 20. Yeah, that was 2020 2021 season. James left. They brought in Paul Silas, not Paul. Stephen Silas, excuse me. Paul Silas is his dad, and Paul Silas is dead. But they brought in Stephen Silas, and then of course he was supposed to have Harden and Westbrook, and then they bounced Harden Westbrook, and they traded Harden, and then he kind of left in that 2021 season, and then they weren't very good, obviously, because they traded all those players, and then they got a top one pick, and then but then again, 21, 22 was not good, 22, 23 was not good, so we've had 3 seasons of shit, and so hopefully they'll be in the playoff chase. And if you look at rebuilds and stuff, especially like in the NBA and baseball, that's usually what it takes is about 2 or 3 years. I mean, if you look at the Astros before they started shooting, in 2017 there, but if you look at the Astros, I mean, that's what they did. They sucked for 3 years. I mean, they lost 100 games, back to back to back seasons, lost over 100 games. That was 2012, 2013, 2014, and then made the playoffs in 2015 as a wild card. Beat the Yankees actually in that wild card game. That's back when it was a 1-game playoff. Damn near beat the Royals in the division series. Royals went up going on to win the World Series that year, of course, and then missed the playoffs in 2016. Won the World Series. Now, of course, we know why they won the 27 World Series, but once again, I'm still pissed off about that because they didn't need to do it. They were good enough. They were gonna win. They would have won the World Series anyway. That's just my opinion. But they did it. What are you gonna do? And then of course, they've been on a roll ever since. So there you go. Except for here lately, but we'll get in that a little bit later too. So that's kind of NBA news with the draft and everything. So what's going on with that? Let me see. Let me see if I can find. I wonder if they didn't show if they got the awards. They didn't put the awards up. They didn't show how their award ceremony. NCAA baseball, College World Series, Men's College World Series finale. Interesting series here. Oh man, good cigar. Anyway, the only good game was the first game. First game went 11 innings. It was tied at 3. LSU able to push the go-ahead run across in the top of the 11th inning. They win the game 4-3 in the top of the 11th. LSU's up 1-0, and then Sunday came. We'll talk about the Angels in a minute. But the same day, the Angels put up 20 whatever fucking runs it was. The the Gators put up 24 runs. 3 touchdowns and a field goal for the Gators, playing LSU in Death Valley at Baton Rouge there. No, but LSU with a couple safeties. No, but they ended up winning 24-4. And then last night in the championship series, after losing 24-4, for losing by 21, LSU comes back, wins 18-4 to win their 7th national championship. They are now second all time in College World Series championships. USC is number 1. I think they have 12. Then LSU's number 2 now by themselves with 7. And then my University of Texas Longhorns at number three with 6 national championships in baseball. Mm. Yeah, trying to get some smoke rings going. Not working there. Not. I gotta get my mouth right. Anyway, make a certain joke there. All right, but that was the Men's College World Series, so congrats to LSU for winning that one. But that was just a crazy fucking series, man. Yeah, one good game and then blowouts. I mean, just, yeah, 4-3, and then we get 24-4, and then we get 18-4. Just absolutely, absolutely insane. I don't think there's any big NFL news. Of course, training camp is going to start late next month. We'll talk more football when we get to that point. And no big golf, so we'll talk golf when we get to the British Open. Let's talk baseball the rest of the show, I guess. Let's see, that was Saturday, I think, was that game? Oh, let me see. Pretty sure it was Saturday. Yes, it was Saturday. So, yeah, the Gators were trying to catch the Angels. They missed it by 1 run. So here's a funny thing about this. So the Angels, let me pull up the box score for you here. So this was Saturday. All right. I was doing a pub crawl, by the way, on Saturday, and there in Galveston. And I was feeling pretty buzzed. I'm feeling pretty good. And yeah, I see the fucking score come across the scroll. I was getting ready to watch the Astros. Astros started at 6 o'clock Central Time. They had the national televised game on Fox against the Dodgers. And, so I'm seeing the scroll across. They were playing in Denver. And, yeah, Angels scored 13 runs in the third, 8 runs in the fourth, and then they had a couple runs in the second, one in the sixth, one in the eighth. But the two big innings were the third and the fourth, 13 and 8. Back-to-back innings, third inning, fourth inning. They ended up getting 25 runs on 28 hits. And they beat Colorado 25-1. And out-hit them 28-7. Pitching for Colorado, Anderson, 2 2/3 inning, 10 hits, 9 earned runs. Karasik, third of an inning, 4 hits, 6 runs, walked 2. Davis, 3 innings, 11 hits, 9 runs. And then Kaufman, 3 innings, 3 hits, just the 1 run. The win probability for the Angels is pretty funny. Let me see if I can show it to you here. So, let me see here. By the top of the third inning, it was 99.8%. At the top of the third inning was the win probability for the Angels. I think it hit 99.1 or 99.9 in the bottom of the third inning. And it stayed that way for 7 innings until the end of the game. But that's the win probability for the Angels. It's just nuts. It was just a crazy game. Now, here's the kicker on this. Even though the Angels did that, let me pull up. It was a tweet from Bob Nightingale. He covers MLB for USA Today. And Bob Nightingale puts this tweet out. Excuse me. Angels puts this tweet out. The Angels outscored the Rockies 32-12 this weekend in Denver and scored more runs in the third inning Saturday. And remember, it was 13 runs Saturday, that third inning. They scored more runs in the third inning Saturday than the Rockies produced all weekend, but still managed to lose 2 of the 3 games in this bizarre series. That is the most Angel thing ever that I can think of with that, because they lost Friday. Let's see, what was the score Friday? They lost 7-4 on Friday, the Angels did. They blow the doors off of them 25-1. And then on Sunday, they lose to the Rockies 4-3. Just absolutely crazy. But yeah, it's 5, 7, 12 runs. So that is what the Rockies had total for the series, and the Angels scored 13 in the third inning on Saturday. That's how nuts that thing was. I mean, just absolutely, absolutely bonkers. As far as that goes, they did win on a walk off on a wild pitch last night, 2-1. Tigers beat the Rangers 7-2 last night for that. Astros did play the Dodgers this weekend on national television. So anytime you wanted to do a drinking game, and anytime they mentioned 2017 cheating scandal, trash cans, and whatnot, you could take a drink. Hopefully nobody died doing that. Astros got they got beat on Friday, and I just poor JP France. I mean, guys are rookies. 28-year-old rookie. I mean, he came up when Urquidy went down, and when Luis Garcia went down, they had to bring France up. So France gets called up. He's actually done. He's had one really bad outing. Uh, he got roughed up pretty bad, and he even said, "I thought maybe I stepped on my pitches." He's like, "I don't know. I need to go back and look at it." He goes, "I felt like I got stuff, but he just got roughed up." Other than that, he's been a quality start guy here lately, and he just can't get any run support. He just the Nationals' offense isn't good anyway, but just no run support for the guy, and they ended up losing 3-2. Fucking Mookie Betts just killed him. Had two leadoff home runs, one Friday, one Sunday, and should have had one Saturday that Corey Julks robbed. But that was it. The game that pissed me off though was Saturday. Astros got behind again. Was it Hunter Brown was pitching? No, it was Blanco who was pitching. Yeah, Blanco pitched. So Blanco was pitching, and he's a AAA guy too. They brought up because once again, Luis Garcia out, Lance McCullers out, Jose Urquidy out. So 3/5 of the starting rotation for the Astros is out. All right, and Blanco's not great. He once again got Leo home run the Mookie Betts. No, that was the one that Jokes caught, but he did give a blast, I think. And but the Astros come back. Bregman hits a grand slam, which I just loved because, of course, Alex Bregman is one of the members left over from there's only two left from 2017. Actually, there's only two in the Dodgers, two left from 2017. So there's only four players combined left over from 2017. But Bregman was one of them, of course, and he hit a grand slam, so that was awesome. They go up, and then the bullpen just imploded. Phil Maton gave up 2 runs, and then Brian Abreu came in for the 8th inning and just was bad. I think he walked the bases loaded. Let me check the play-by-play out because that was the 8th inning. Because like I said, I was a little buzzed, but I was still not happy by what was happening. Let me get down here to the 8th. Bottom of the 8th. Yeah, walk, and then sack fly, and then ground rule double, and then all of a sudden it was 7-7. And then, of course, if you watch the game, once again, it was on Fox, national televised. If you watch the game, there was runners of the corners. Ryan Stanek had a full count on the batter when he got called for the balk. Let's see, when was that? So DeLuca was on third. So DeLuca's on third base. He's got a full count on Peralta. Peralta was at the plate at the time. And pitch clock's going to wind him down, and Stanek goes to step off the rubber. The kind of what I've heard this from Steve Sparks, who used to be a major league pitcher, also calls the games on the radio for the Astros. You heard it from David Cohn, I think, on the ESPN broadcast Sunday night, and also even Dodger manager Dave Roberts even said this too. Partly what happened is he went to step off the rubber, got his cleat caught, and it caused his knee to jerk. Now, you see me wearing Astros gear. By the letter of the law, it was a balk. Steve Sparks said it was a balk. David Cohn said it was a balk. Dave Roberts said it was a balk. All right, so by the letter of the law, it was a balk because his knee did twitch. Like I did see, because even when it happened, when I was looking at the replay and I saw the leg twitch, I was like, I don't think he disengaged the rubber, and that was my thing. And I was like, I don't, and that was me buzzed, all right, on a pub crawl looking at it, and it looked like that he did not disengage the rubber completely when that knee jerked. It looked like his foot was still on the rubber, and that's probably what happened. Is like you said, he went to step off, and he either doesn't step high enough, and that cleat catches the rubber, or scrapes the ground, that knee twitch, and it's a balk. Um, and the what was then the game was tied 7-7 at that point, and that being the win and run. And first balk in Stanik's career ever, and kind of a shitty way for the game to end because it was an exciting game. I was getting frustrated. I mean, but like I said, it shouldn't have gotten to that point. Mayton gave up 2 runs. Abreu had given up 2 runs. And they'd blown a 4-run lead. All right, you blow a 4-run lead, you probably deserve to lose the game anyway. So I really didn't care about the balk. Just what was that? The after effects of the balk was what was fucking hilarious because first of all, Stanek still has a 3-2 count on Peralta, and he asked the umpire. He's like, what the fuck did I do? And the umpire said, your knee, twitched. So Stanek strikes out Peralta. Now, his night's done anyway. He ain't coming back out. And this is what was good. So instead of course, blowing his top when the balk happened, I got to pause. I got to take this. Okay, we're back. The little emergency thing from where my mom lives and make sure she's doing okay. But, so anyway, so I mean, blah, 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 law's a balk. It's one of those things, though, where was it the spirit of the law? Like, was Stanek trying to deceive the runner at third? Of course not. He just got caught, whatever, made a jerk with his reaction, just accidental jerk, nothing. He wasn't trying to do anything. So was it within the spirit of the law? No. Was it by the letter of the law? Yes. Could they have not called it? Probably. All right. But Major League Baseball, I read an article. I don't know who it was. It might have been Brad McTaggart, who covers the Astros for MLB. It might have been Chandler Rome, who covers it for the Athletic. Might have even been for somebody for the Dodgers that I was reading on MLB. But apparently, MLB said that at the start of the season that they wanted the umpires to start cracking down on the balks, and apparently apparently the Dodgers got busted for a balk or called for a balk in the same situation or the same kind of thing a little bit earlier in the season. So kind of just is what it is. But they should not have lost that game. You can't walk the bases loaded. It was just fucking horrible. I was just pissed. They then they tried to blow it on Sunday Night Baseball too. Montero just he's got an ERA almost of 8. His WHIP is almost 2. He's getting paid over $10 million this year, signed a 3-year deal, $34 million. He's the highest paid non-closer in baseball, and by his stats is the worst reliever in baseball. Just absolutely fucking sucks. And so but the Astros were able to hold on, win their first extra inning game of the year. They ended up winning it in 11 innings on Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN. Got 3 games set coming up with the Cardinals, and then they go to the Rangers for 4. So that should be fun. All right, so we got a few minutes left. Real quick, we'll run through the standings here. We got American League. Tampa still leading the East by 4 games over Baltimore, followed by the Yankees at 9.5, Toronto's at 10, Boston's at 13. Central, Minnesota, who's playing 500 ball, they're 40-40, have a 1.5 lead over Cleveland. Detroit's 4.5 back, White Sox 6 back, KC 17 back. Of course, in the West, the Rangers lost last night. They lost on Sunday. That Astros caught a 1.5 on them, so the lead is down to 5. They're actually tied for second place with the Angels, but the Astros have the tiebreaker right now, so they are in second place. Angels also 5 games back. Seattle's 8.5 back. Oakland, of course, 28 back. National League in the East, Atlanta's got a 6.5 game lead over Miami. They should run away with that division. Phillies 10.5 back. Mets 16 games back. What a disappointing season that's been. Just shows you that you cannot buy success. Nats 21 out. Central, Milwaukee leading that one by half a game over Cincinnati. Cincinnati finally had their winning streak snapped by Atlanta over the weekend. And of course, De La Cruz hit it for the cycle. That was pretty badass. I got to see him with the Astros. That dude is fast. fast. But anyway, Pittsburgh's 5.5 back. They kind of fallen back down to earth. St. Louis 8.5 back. Out west, Arizona still holding on to the lead there. 2.5 games over the Giants. 3 games over the Dodgers. Padres also disappointing this year. 9.5 back. Colorado 16.5 back. And then real quick before we run out of time here, wild card standings right now in the American League. Your 3 wild cards would be Baltimore, the Yankees, and Toronto. Houston's half a game back. Also, Angels half a game back of Toronto, only 1 game back of the Yankees. Boston's 3 back, so they're still in it. Seattle's, Cleveland's still in it 4-5 there. National League, it'd be the Marlins, Giants, Dodgers. Phillies 3 back of the Dodgers, along with Cincinnati, and then the Cubs are 5.5 back. And then the Padres 6.5 back. So there you go. All right, there's your baseball talk. A little NBA today, little College World Series, little MLB baseball. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all's week. It's hot as fuck. I'm going to finish this cigar, finish this beer, and go the hell back inside with air conditioning. Don't forget to find me on Twitter at JJSportsShow63. That's at JJSportsShow63. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, and we'll talk to you later. Y'all have a good rest of the week. Cheers, y'all. See you next week.